Hey guys, it's Dr.R, aka Harjot, bringing you another Battlefront 2 update video. In the last update video, we talked about the leaked heroes that are going to be in Battlefront 2, although in this video, we'll talk about some of the abilities that have already been leaked about some of the heroes we'll be able to play with as soon as the game launches. Though before we get into this video, make sure to subscribe and like this video to be entered into our summer giveaway, where we will be giving away Microsoft and PSN cards. And don't forget to up your chances by following and being in our streams on Twitch, linked in the description. So to start off this video, we'll talk about the hero side, about Han Solo first. Still using his iconic DL-44 blaster, he'll still have the abilities of shoulder charge and sharpshooter, although a new ability will be available called detonate charge, where Han throws a sticky charge which can be detonated at will. Which means that Lucky Shot from Battlefront 1 will no longer exist in Battlefront 2. Although having Lucky Shot as an ability for Han Solo was great at times, I feel that the detonate charge will be a bit more useful, especially if there are crowds of people and you throw one charge. You have the ability to exit the area and then blow up the charge, allowing for the enemies to be killed off, but you still alive. So basically, an easier way to think of it as a remote controlled explosive. Although to get into our next hero, or in this case, Han Solo's right-hand man, or should I say Wookiee, is Chewbacca. Most of the abilities for Chewbacca will be quite similar, although one that stood out to me that seems a bit different is Multi-Shock, where Chewbacca will be able to throw a grenade which can be broken into a cluster of small missiles which electrocute the enemy when they target them or hit them. While Han Solo had to give up an ability to acquire a new ability, Chewbacca isn't going to give up anything he had from Battlefront 1, rather just gain a new ability. Next, we'll be talking about one of the quickest heroes in Battlefront 1, Luke Skywalker. Luke will also regain most of his old abilities from Battlefront 1, but one new ability that may be introduced in Battlefront 2 could be called Force Repulse, which happens when Luke sends a burst of force energy out from the ground, dealing damage to any enemy nearby. Which means in this case, Luke's heavy attack will be eliminated in Battlefront 2. Though in my opinion, this new ability by Luke will make a huge difference and should be welcome, because in Battlefront 1, when Luke was in open areas and enemies began to surround him, he became easily overwhelmed, leading to quite a bit of damage being dealt and even a quicker death. But with this new ability, Force Repulse, he is able to deal with all enemies surrounding him at once and make a quick escape using his speed. Although onto our next hero, Lando Calrissian. In my opinion, Lando has received the most overhaul of any heroes, bringing in 2 out of 3 of new abilities. Which means only one ability from Battlefront 1 is coming into Battlefront 2 for Lando, which is the Disabler. Though the first new ability Lando will be receiving is called the Smoke Grenade, which we all know will obscure the enemy's view of Lando. Though using the X8 Night Sniper's thermal view, he'll be able to see through the smoke grenade while the enemies can't see him. Though Lando's second ability is called Sharp Shot, where Lando takes a moment to take focus up to 5 enemies before delivering a flurry of headshots against each one. In my opinion, I felt like Lando didn't need much change, as he was pretty useful throughout any map he was on, using his X8 Night Sniper as well as his other abilities. Although I'm not sure if this will help Lando become a better hero or demote him into a worse hero once Battlefront 2 launches. Our next hero consists of Leia Organa. Now, in Battlefront 2, there are a lot of speculations around Leia, as many people aren't sure whether her primary weapon will be a Defender pistol or the E11 Assault. Now, not to get confused, the Defender pistol is something different than the DH-17 blaster her guards use. Although one of her special abilities, which hasn't had a name yet, will allow her to switch for the E11 Assault weapon, allowing her to blast her enemies with a stream of laser fire. So if this special ability information from the alpha turns out to be true, that means that the Defender pistol will be Leia's primary weapon instead of the E11 in Battlefront 1. Although in Battlefront 2, Leia is still expected to have the Squad Shield, although a new ability will be the Concussion Grenade, which allows her to throw a concussion grenade which detonates on impact, blinding and confusing enemies in the blast area. which means that Leia did have 2 out of the 3 abilities from Battlefront 1 that will be replaced in Battlefront 2, the same as Lando did. Although the reason why I don't think Leia will have such an advantage is that Lando's abilities were completely different, while Leia's seemed to be quite subtle compared to Lando's. And last but not least, the last hero we have on the list at launch that we know the abilities of is Yoda. Now, since Yoda wasn't obviously in Battlefront 1, there is no way to gain accurate footage of Yoda using these special new abilities and comparing them to old abilities, which once again he couldn't have had because he was not in Battlefront 1. So to get into Yoda's abilities, first off we have Force Absorb. Yoda channels the Force, absorbing blaster fire before channeling it into a wave of force power that can damage and knock over any enemy nearby. His second special ability consists of Dash Attack, where Yoda leaps forward, dealing damage to enemies he hits on the way. He can perform the move 3 times in a quick succession. Yoda's third ability, which doesn't have a name quite yet, is consisted of a healing type of ability, where Yoda becomes one with the Force, instantly removing any negative effects from him and healing him off his wounds. Though since this is an update video, I couldn't keep it short enough while going over the villains and their special abilities, so tomorrow I will be dropping another vid going over all the known abilities for all the known heroes that we have learned so far. So don't forget to turn on those notifications, and I'll see you tomorrow everyone. Have a great rest of your day.